So, a new day, a new dollar. Here we go again, back on the van build. Welcome to the channel. This is my Citroen Relay van build series. If you're new here, thanks for coming along. Remember to like and subscribe and blah, 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 blah. I'm doing a Greta there, aren't I?
Blah, 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 blah.
So, in the first part of this video, or in the last video, I'm not quite sure how this is going to edit out. I was making a start on my kitchen, and that's still not 100% done yet. But today I wanted to catch up on a few bits and pieces and tidy up and finish off a few bits and bobs. So this is kind of, you know, not one thing in particular, but more of a kind of odds and sods video, really. So anyway, without further ado, let's crack in to the odds and sods. Right, first of all, let's touch on a few odds and sods that I've already done and show you what I've done, and then we'll crack into what I'm doing today. So, since the last video, I have added a couple of extra lights because I came in when it was dark the other day and switched everything on, and I thought, you know, that's a bit on the dark side there, really, and we don't want to take a trip to the dark side, do we? Definitely not. So, let me just switch everything on a second. So up underneath my cabinet here above the seat frame, I've added a couple of little spots here. Now I found these on the Magnum Motorhome website, and apparently they're from Lunar Caravans. And I thought, oh, they look dead smart in like a brushed aluminium finish, and switched on. They're super bright. Look at that. So that was quite good. So I've got one that side and one over this side, so they can kind of illuminate the table area here when we're you know, eating or playing Monopoly, which is which by its other name is Murder in the Dark. So that's doing the trick now. And also above the door, I wanted a bit more illumination there as well. So here's my celery cupboard above the door. So what I've done under here is I've added this little fellow here. Now this is made by Camper, you know, the people that make all the stuff for tents and camping, and it's got a little switch on the end there, and that's quite a nice bright little little light as well. And one thing I quite liked about that is it's a rotating one, so I can twist it around to face inside the van, or if we're sat outside and we want a bit more illumination, I can twist it. Makes a hell of a noise. I can twist it and have it on the facing the outside. So I thought that was quite cool. So that's just going to sit at kind of that angle, I think, just pointing inside generally. So we just a little on off switch there. So I've plumbed that power wise into the 12-volt feed for all my control panels, which are just up above there. So that was nice and simple. And the two spotlights here, what I've done is I had a 12-volt feed in the corner of the cupboard here, which was going to be for the TV amplifier, but actually I had a fairly sizable cable on that, so I need to tidy this up yet, but I've just banged a few Wago connectors in there, and I've plumbed everything together in that corner, so that's all worked out quite easy, really. Oh, and I've put the amplifier and stuff in for the TV aerial as well. Obviously this wire hanging through the middle of the cupboard is going to be a pain in the ass, but you know, not a lot you can do about that. That's it. It is what it is. And another thing I've installed back here is I'll come on to the red bit in a minute, but this fellow, which is a Dometic cooker. This is horribly expensive for what it is, but you know, that's the same with all camping stuff, isn't it? But anyway, made by Dometic. I think it's called a CK500 or something like that. I must admit, I didn't film the installing of this because I was just cracking on with it the other day before it got dark, and it really is as simple as literally just 4 screws and a 12-volt cable, so there wasn't really much to film, to be honest. But anyway, so a couple of things I like about this is it's got a light built in, so you can see what you're cooking. And if I just turn the fan on here a second, so that's on its sort of lowest setting. Noise wise, I guess you can probably hear that. I'll shut up a minute. Middle setting and high setting. Now that is that's sucking out quite a lot of air there, in actual fact. So how I've wired this and connected this is, hang on, let me turn that off. Right, is I'd already put my my mood lighting in here, you see. So I was a bit anxious when wifey said, I want a cooker hood. Oh, bloody great that is, yeah, well done. Wish you'd have told me that 3 months ago. But anyway, so what I've did is I've deliberately bought one that's quite shallow here, and just brought it forward off the front of the cupboard there enough so that it just misses the back here where the mood lighting is, so that still kind of works and illuminates down the back there, look. And it doesn't poke out the front too much, certainly not that you're gonna bang your head on it or anything like that. And need to tidy up in here now, sawdust everywhere, but there's the old cable which I've just routed through, and that goes on up straight into the 12-volt fuse board up above there. And pipe wise, you might recognize this pipe. It actually comes with a flexi pipe, which is you know, stupidly short really, and is about as much use, no good to man nor beast. So I've had to improvise something else, and the only thing I could really come across that was going to fit the bill was a bit of this Truma, Jesus, it was too early in the morning, Truma heating pipe. Now obviously cooker hoods with, you know, sort of fatty stuff and steam and everything, and this stuff is possibly not the best idea, but I'm going to give it a whirl, and if it starts to degrade, then I'll search for something a bit better to replace this with. But for now we'll give it a go, and of course it is all kind of aluminium wrapped on the inside, so even though it's cardboard on the outside, hopefully it will hold up okay. And I didn't really want to route this through the roof because up above here there's loads of woodwork and stuff up in here, so trying to get that pipe up through and out through the roof with like a little mushroom cap on it was going to be just an absolute nightmare. So what I've done is I've lost a bit of space inside the cupboard here by routing it round here, and so I spoke to wifey and said, right, you know, let's think about how we're going to use this and when we're going to use it and so forth and so on. And we made a decision that actually we're unlikely to ever cook in the van with the door shut, because A, the smell and everything else, B, the steam and the condensation that will cause, and of course the whole thing of not having a vapor barrier. All in all, that didn't seem like a cracking idea. And if we go away during periods where there's sort of inclement weather and we're staying on a campsite, we shall simply put up a you know, a drive away awning here, or even if it's like a little small porch awning or something over this, so you can have the door open and not get wet. So what I've decided to do is simply vent that up here, so that the exhaust for the cooker just comes straight out here to the outside, rather than going up through the roof. Right or wrong, I'm sure some people say, oh, that's crap, but that's the decision I've made and I'm going with it. So that's what I've done. We'll see how we get on with that. You know, I may have to eat humble pie on that one and move that at a later stage, but we'll see how that works. So that's been installed and fitted, the old cooker hood there. And what else have we done? Oh yeah, wifey's been to Lidl and made a purchase, and what she's been and got is this: a Sharp 24-inch 12-volt 240-volt TV. Lovely. So I reminded wifey then of two elements and attributes to this. Number one, which I know is going to sound a bit stupid after spending a lot of time putting a TV aerial in, but to be honest, that was just earlier on in the build to keep wifey happy. But the reality is, number one, we don't actually really watch any TV, so why? And number two, look at it, it's bloody enormous. So I said, where's this going to go then? Because there ain't any space to put that up there anywhere. That looked like a pig's ear. We can't really put it up up there anywhere. That looked like a pig's ear. And also, of course, up there, the people sat in the seats at the front can't see it. If I put it up there, the people sat here can't see it. So all in all, that seemed like a bit of a bust. So I had a cunning plan. And my cunning plan is this. On the odd occasion we will watch TV, which is going to be very rare, this can sit in a cupboard out the way, minding its own business. And then when we want to use it, we'll just simply get it out and stick it on the end of the kitchen now. And I thought, haha, I can do something now with my dimmer control that I can't use because I cocked up my wiring, and make an alternative plan, which is what I've done this morning. So I've run this coax cable right the way from up there where the amplifier is, all the way through there at the back, all the way around that through that cupboard, along the top here through that cupboard, in through there, down behind the solway panel, and eventually coming up in the back of the kitchen. So what I'm going to do is, I've already taken the old dimmer switch off, and that hole there is now going to accommodate the 12 volt TV plug. So that can now sit nicely in there, look. And I'll take a feed off the back of the USB to power that, because the TV is a tiddly amount of power, and I put a great big chunky cable in on the USB, so I'm just going to take a feed off the back of there to run that. So that can sit in that hole now quite happily, and that will power the TV on a 12 volt plug and aerial socket there, and then that can just sit on the top when we want to use it, and shove it back in a cupboard somewhere out of the way when we don't want to use it, which is probably going to be 99.9% of the time. But anyway, you know what it's like. Right, let me actually get on with something now rather than procrastinating in front of the GoPro, because that ain't getting nothing done, is it? So we're going to fit this. Now what I've had to do with this one is, because the dimmer control that was in there is bigger than this, the way these sockets work, of course, is the middle bit clips into this surround. So when I put that in the first time and thought, yeah, that fits, the actual middle bit I could just push straight through, and it came out inside the kitchen drawer inside, and I thought, oh shit, that's not good, is it? So anyway, we all have our different ways of overcoming that, don't we, and methods. The one I've chosen, rightly or wrongly, but I think it's going to work, is using some Gorilla Glue. I've Gorilla Glued some big stainless steel washers on the inside here, on the corners, to hold that together. And now, in fact, let's see, I'm going to make this connection and then put it in, and it can stay in. So let's plug the old TV aerial in. So this has an F plug connector on the back here, look, like a satellite box. So you have to put one of those on the end of your coax cable and then screw that on, like so. And then that will give you a coaxial socket on the front there. So now, when I put that in, like so, this doesn't push through because the washers are just catching on the end of the wood. So that's how I managed to kind of overcome that dilemma. So let me get that screwed in, and then we'll make this connection at the back. Right, that's done and screwed in on the outside there. So now we just need to do these connections at the back here. So these are my USB ones, and discovering the wonderful attributes of these Wago connectors, let's make this connection. So positive goes in that one, like so, and negative, trying not to touch anything that shouldn't be touched, and it goes fizzy pop and blows yet another blade fuse. Not that I've lost hundreds of those damn things already, by doing that. That can go in there, and hey presto, we have power. And let me just get my voltmeter and we'll check that that's powered and is working a-okay. And then tidy up the cables in the back here. Got another wire connected to that, which is just here at the moment, and that's going to be for the LED strip that's going on this back panel when that's put on eventually. So I've just taken all these feeds off of this nice big thick heavy duty USB cable that was running in here. So these Wago connectors are taking a feed from for the USB and then going out to the actual USB socket, out to the TV socket, and out onto this light, which will have its own dedicated little switch on the back here. So that's what all that is for. Right, let me get the old staple gun and tidy this up a bit out of the way of the drawer, and then we can move on. Okay, the next bit I'm doing here is the splashback panels behind the cooker. So what I've got is this one on here, and I've got my electric sockets and kitchen light and pump switch under there, and side piece on here which I've just Sikaflex onto the side of the fridge cabinet. And actually I found this on eBay. This comes from B&Q, and it's splashback panels from their kitchen range. And on eBay for just a few quid I found someone locally selling an offcut which was just enough to do this. So the red was by pure fluke really, but funnily enough with the aluminium and the dark grey and everything, it kind of matches, which is alright. As usual I made a complete mess of that corner with too much splodge, so I'm hoping the old purple meths will do the job of cleaning that up. If not, I'm going to have egg on my face, aren't I? And if I haven't got egg on my face, I'm going to have to go in the kitchen and break a couple of eggs and smear them on. Oh dear, that is sticky stuff. That's actually stickier than the black juice one shows you has, which is obviously sticky stuff. No, but this stuff is yeah, right. There you go. Yeah, right, marvellous. So let me bring you in for a closer look and show you what I've been doing. Let's take you off the old tripod there. Right, so there's the old cooker underneath, the cook hood which we saw just a minute ago. So what I've done is I've put a side piece on there which is just Sikaflex to the side of the fridge cabinet. I didn't worry about doing too much with the edge here, because what I'm going to do is just run a little thin bead of splodge around there at the end when we do the bathroom. Had a little bit of the trim, corner trim left from the bathroom build, which I've used in that corner there. And round by the fly screen here we've just offered another little teased, if you like, another little piece in there just to finish that off. And I've got a little bit of white corner trim which I'm going to put on there in just a second. And this actually, again, you know, warts and all approach, if we look up under here, this actually isn't quite tall enough, look, to go all the way up. So what I've done is I've prepared a little offcut of the old furniture board which I've T-trimmed on the front. And the next job I'm going to do is that we'll sit up in there quite nicely and fill that hole. I just need to do a little bit of trimming to get it in, and that will go up in there and fill that gap. So let me get the rest of this complete, and then I'll give you another lowdown on what the end result looks like. There, lovely, that looks all right. So piece of white corner trim there, corner trim in the corner, and the panels in, and with the various lights on as well. I'm quite happy with that, and that red, I think, against the white and the grey is going to look all right. And for what was about 20 quid on eBay for an offcut. That's just the trick, isn't it? Right, marvellous. Right, what is next on my odds and sods list? So I've put the doors on my kitchen. Look at that. I didn't really film that because, in all honesty, you've seen me fit these catches before, so you know all about that. So anyway, that just opens up like that. Catches on there. Latches on there. Well, it's, you know, 'tis what it is, isn't it? Simple. And that comes around and click, just like that. And then what I've done with the one this side is I deliberately went for a slightly wider cabinet in the middle here, for the purpose of housing a microwave. There he is in there. I need to actually strap that down and fix it all in yet. I haven't actually finished that bit off. But I deliberately mounted a main socket in the back there, which you can see. And my measurements kind of worked out right, because even though the door doesn't open terribly far because it catches against the seat frame, it is enough to actually open the microwave door. So on the odd occasion we're going to want to you know, reheat something or heat something up, to actually just do that with this door open, you know, in that style for the 2 minutes it takes is not the end of the world, and there's no need to have that, you know, on display and on show, so to speak. So that's why I've done that. And take all this blue wrapping off to reveal that nice white gloss shortly. We've got the old sticky stuff remover there to get all that crap off the cooker that you saw in a previous video, so that's looking much better now. What else have we done? Oh, around the front, yeah, I've put the cover on the other side. Let's just tuck round here, and there it is. So that's where the back of the drawers were that you've seen previously. So we've tucked a piece of furniture board in there into that piece of trim, and then I've also put another light in here because I had a piece of that aluminium strip left over. So I've put a little latching switch in rather than a momentary switch this time, just on the end there. So now externally I've got a couple of options. If we're sat outside and the kids are outside and all the rest of it, I can have that nice big awning light on. But if we want, but that, you know, lights up for miles around. It's super bright, that one. But if we just want to be a little bit more inconspicuous and just have a little bit of light on, I can pop him on and just have this one on, which is a much quieter light, so to speak, for want of a better word, and off again, which will just shine outside nicely. So that's what I've done now. And again, that's all been designed so the fly screen just slides down the side of it all there. And actually through the fly screen now, look, I can still turn that on and off quite easily. So that's and that still works even through this fly screen, look. So that's all good. Right, let's move on. So the next thing I'm going to do, I think, which is going to be the job for the rest of today, is going to be to build my stool, which is going in there. And I know what you're now thinking. Stool? What? What the hell's... what? Yeah. That will all make sense once I've built it. So I'm going to crack on and make up a simple little frame for a small stool that's going to be permanently mounted in that corner. Let me start building that together, and then I'll show you what that's all about. Right, a little midway point update on my stool I'm building. So I've made a frame in the bottom here, so that's going to be the basic shape of it, and I'm just building the sides out of this furniture board. Just had some offcuts of that, which luckily I've managed to utilize, and these aluminium corners, and then I've got another bit that's going to go in there like so. And where this is going to sit inside is in this corner here. As I said earlier, this is a a little sort of template for what the top is going to look like. So that is going to sit in there like that. And you can see now that the reason for that cutout on the corner is so it doesn't foul on the driver's seat when you're spinning the driver's seat round. And again, more will become clear as to why I'm doing that when it's actually fitted and complete, and we start getting the table in, which will come pretty well after I've done that. So let me get some screws in here and get that sort of put together, and then update you again. Right, okay, there he is in the corner. So I've had to make an angle there, as you can see, and what I've done is I've just sort of trapped an extra piece of timber in here and T-trimmed either side of it there. I thought that was the best way to do that, because of course this doesn't come in sort of 45-degree angles. But that's it. And so inside actually we've got quite a nice little storage area for some extra stuff. Shoes and all that kind of stuff will go in there nicely. Now I had to get a little bit creative with the bottom here, because as you can see it's not off the floor here, but it's on the floor further back, and that was because I made a bit of a cock up. And when I put this sort of raised floor in here, I thought, oh, I can get a little cubby hole in the bottom of there for storage and stuff. So I made my little cubby hole, which you can just see the outline of here. Without thinking, I was putting this in the corner, which was a bit stupid. So I've had to build that on the basis that I can still, I haven't put a hole in the middle to get my finger in yet, so it's a bit awkward, but the idea is there. So I can still slide my lid off and access my cubby hole underneath, and then that will slide back in like so. Right, let me put the GoPro on a tripod or a stand or something, and then I'll explain why on earth I've built that. Right, hopefully you can still hear me okay. So first of all, the reason for this cutout here actually is fairly obvious if you think about it. It's so that the driver's seat will still swivel and miss the corner of that. So that's the reason for that. And here, using some more of the Citroen Relay fabric from my donor chair that I mentioned before, I've made a cushion. I haven't finished the upholstery yet, it's still pinned on the back, and I need to still basically put that inside there to make it solid and secure. But the idea being is that is going to sit on the top of there, or rather once that wood is in there to get the correct height, that is going to sit in there like that, which creates a little seat. And then my extra additional piece here is going to go in there like so. So what I'm going to end up with is, you know, on a lot of camper van builds, you see these this little extra table that comes up on the end of the kitchen, and it's got two brackets underneath. Well, I've ordered some sort of heavy-duty versions of those, which are going to go on the end here, and that's going to allow this to basically fold down like this when you're traveling, so you can get your legs down in there. And then when we park up, that will lift up and click into place. And what I've created is sort of like a lounge area, because our table is going to be freestanding in the middle, so you're going to be able to get round the back of it. So rather than the two, you know, the passengers, two sat on the seat at the back and two sat on the chairs at the front, sort of facing each other, we can sit in sort of like a U-shaped lounge configuration with that. And what I'm going to do with this one, because of course I don't want that just basically folding down there like that, and then you know, your feet are on it all the time, which would be a bit crap. I'm going to do it in such a way that that's on some Velcro pads, so the wooden support for it can fold down out of the way when you're traveling, and then when you get to your location, you simply lift the wooden support up into place, and then that will Velcro on the top to create the seat. So that's what I've built all that for. How that's going to work out, I'm not too sure, but we're going to give it a go. And hey, if worse comes to worse and it's a pile of shit, we can just simply unscrew that and take it away again. But I thought I'd give that a go. I thought that was going to be quite a nice idea. So anyway, we'll see more of that in the van tour at the end, because it's over to wifey now for the old upholstery part of it. Now I've built the cupboard, and I'm waiting for me brackets to come from Screwfix to get that fitted before I can actually screw it down and fix it in. So that's as much as I can do on that for now. Just so I'd give a very quick update just to the end of this video before signing off, because my brackets have arrived. So they have been fitted on the side of that stool. So how this is going to work is that will lift up and go click, click, click into place. These hold 200 kilos each, apparently, according to Screwfix, so plenty strong enough for someone to sit on. And I have tried it. I've sat on there, and it's all good, amazingly. So so that's fine. So we've just got a little sort of table there, if you like, but it's not really a table, because of course it's going to have that cushion on the top of it. But the idea is going to have some Velcro strips on there that the cushion will stick to when it's in use. And then when you want to put it away, you just simply take the cushion off and put it away in storage. And then this will, don't think I'm going to be able to do this one handed. Hang on, no, I'm just going to put you down a second. Okay, and then this, when you don't want to use it, you just operate the little levers, and then that will push down there like so, and your feet will sit comfortably down in the bottom there. So that's my little stool idea, and my U-shaped lounge configuration. Well, that's the plan anyway. You know, these things might go horribly wrong, but so far so good. Once we've got the table in, we'll be able to see just how useful that's going to be. Right, so I'll wrap up that video there. I think that's enough odds and sods for one day, isn't it? So join me in the next video when we'll be doing oh, it's beds, isn't it? Yeah, let's crack on with the beds next.